Have you ever pondered why the present moment holds so much power? Let's embark on a journey to uncover this mystery through the lens of a transformative book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. A spiritual guide that takes us beyond the confines of time into the boundless realm of the present. At the heart of this book lies a simple yet profound philosophy. The present is all we truly have. It's the gateway to all life's riches. Tolle suggests that our minds, often lost in the past or anxious about the future, overlook the beauty and potential of the now. This constant mental time travel, he argues, is the root cause of our unhappiness and discontent. Through the power of now, Tolle urges us to awaken to the present, to embrace the now and in the process free ourselves from the shackles of time-induced suffering. Now let's delve deeper into the chapters and the wisdom they hold. What if I told you that your ego is not your true self? Eckhart Tolle, in the first few chapters of his enlightening book, The Power of Now, introduces us to a novel idea about the concept of ego. Picture a cage. This cage is not made of steel bars or concrete walls. It's an invisible prison constructed by our past experiences and future anxieties. The inmate, your true self, the jailer, your ego. This ego, Tolle explains, is a master illusionist. It convinces us that we are the sum total of our past mistakes and future worries. It traps us in a cycle of regret and fear, obscuring the vibrant reality of the present moment. But here's the twist. This cage is not locked. We have the key. Tolle teaches us that to truly live, we must dismantle our ego. It's not about denying our past or ignoring the future. It's about understanding that our past and future do not define us. It's about breaking free from the invisible chains that bind us to our anxieties and regrets. And in this liberation we find our true selves, vibrant, ever-present, and unburdened by the weight of time. By dismantling our ego, we begin to experience life not as a series of past events or future possibilities, but as a series of present moments, each one a fresh canvas for our authentic selves to paint upon. So, the key to happiness lies not in the ego, but beyond it. Can surrendering be considered powerful instead of a sign of defeat? In the labyrinth of Eckhart Tolle's wisdom, we find the idea of surrender not as an act of defeat, but as a pathway to peace and contentment. Here, surrender is painted not as a white flag raised in a battlefield, but as a serene acceptance of the present moment just as it is. Tolle invites us to discard our resistance to what is. Imagine a river, its water flowing freely, unhindered, embodying the essence of existence. Now consider a dam, an artificial barrier that halts the river's course. Our resistance to what is that dam, disrupting the natural flow of life. In surrendering, we're not advocating for passivity or resignation, but rather, we're promoting acceptance. We're letting go of the notion that things need to be different for us to be happy or content. We're embracing the here and now, with all its imperfections. And in doing so, we're freeing ourselves from the self-inflicted chains of discontentment. This shift in perspective, this act of surrender, allows us to tap into an inner reservoir of peace, one that's always been there, waiting to be discovered. It's a paradox, really, that in surrendering we gain power, we find freedom. So let's reframe our understanding of surrender. Let's see it not as a sign of weakness, but as a testament of strength, a declaration of freedom from the shackles of resistance. It seems counterintuitive, but sometimes to win we must surrender. How can we put the power of now into practice, you might be wondering? Well, the final chapters of Eckhart Tolle's groundbreaking book provide a roadmap to this very journey. It's not about grand gestures or radical lifestyle changes, but simple, everyday mindfulness practices and a gentle shift in perspective. Tolle suggests that the first step is to become aware of our own thoughts. We must recognize that we are not our thoughts, but the observer of our thoughts. This simple realization can free us from the shackles of our past regrets and future anxieties and anchor us firmly in the present moment. The second step is to incorporate mindfulness into our daily routines. It could be as simple as truly experiencing your morning coffee, feeling its warmth, savoring its aroma, tasting its flavor, and being fully present in that moment. Or it could be as profound as observing the rise and fall of your breath, feeling the life force within you and realizing the miracle of existence. The third, and perhaps the most important step, is to accept the present moment as it is. This doesn't mean resigning to fate, but rather acknowledging the reality of the now and working with it, not against it. It's about embracing the present and understanding that this moment is all we truly have. And there you have it, a practical guide to living in the now. Remember, the journey to the now begins with a single mindful step. So, what can we take away from the power of now? Firstly, the importance of living in the present moment cannot be overstated. Time, as we perceive it, is a construct of the mind, and in reality, all we ever truly have is this moment, right now. By focusing our attention on the present, we can escape the torments of past regret and future anxiety, living our lives with more peace, joy, and acceptance. Secondly, the book teaches us about the need to dismantle the ego. The ego thrives on separation, comparison, and judgment. It is the voice in our heads that tells us we are not enough, or that we are better or worse than others. By recognizing that this voice is not us, but a product of our conditioned mind, we can start to free ourselves from its destructive influence. Thirdly, the power of now enlightens us about the power of surrender. Surrender does not mean giving up, but rather accepting what is. It is about letting go of resistance to the present moment, and in doing so, finding a deep peace that transcends our external circumstances. Finally, the book provides practical ways to live in the now. These include observing our thoughts without judgment, focusing on our breath, and becoming aware of the inner energy field of our bodies. In the words of Eckhart Tolle, realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now the primary focus of your life.